Shall we start? Okay. Om Shuklam Bharadaram Vishnum Shashivarnam Chaturbhujam Prasannavadanam Dhyayet Sarva Vignopashantaye. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Saha Viryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Namaste everyone. So in the last class we were discussing about Veda. What is the means of knowledge in Hinduism? The source of knowledge as Veda. Veda is a book of knowledge. And also we saw the six visions, six darshanas. And what is history, Purana, and also about epic called Mahabharata and Ramayana. And this Gita, the Bhagavad Gita, comes in one portion of Mahabharata. Mahabharata has 100,000 verses. It is in the verse form. So Bhagavad Gita also is in the verse form. For example, we have a different way of writing, prose, in the form of prose, in the form of sutra, aphorism. So sutra is like a formula. And mantras also, like the Vedanta, the last portion of Veda, which is in the form of Upanishads, they are in the mantra forms. Mantra cannot be sung, it can be chanted. So that also we saw in the last class, the mistake in chanting, what result can come. So here Bhagavad Gita is in the verse form. It can be sung also. So sometimes people call it as a song of God, etc. Even though it is in a very systematic way, it can be sung. Bhagavad Gita has 700 verses, total 700 verses, and it has 18 chapters. Every chapter has a subject matter. So, as I said, every word comes from the root meaning of Sanskrit. We have around 2,000 roots. If you want to know exact meaning of the word, then you should have a knowledge of root, from which root it is coming. So, in every end of the chapter, like for example, it has 18 chapter. Every end of the chapter, it mentions the subject matter. Like Arjuna, like after completion of first chapter, it says Arjuna Vishada Yoga. So this is the subject matter of Arjuna's despondency or Arjuna's sadness. That is the subject matter. So here yoga is not union or anything else. Okay. I'm giving you traditional meaning because sometimes we may take it as a sadness as yoga. Sadness is also yoga. Then there is a second chapter, Sankhya Yoga. Then the knowledge of yoga. You become union, you become united through knowledge. You become united through sadness. Then Karma Yoga. You become united. So that is not the meaning here. So yoga has three meanings from the root. If you look at the root, it has three meanings. Yujir yoge means one meaning is to get united. And yoga samadho means you become one with of chosen object. You become one, firmly established. That is one meaning. And samyamane. Samyamane means, this is in Sanskrit. Samyamane means discipline. Samyamane. You manage. That it comes in the sense of discipline. So if you look at the Yoga Sutra, there is a book called Yoga Sutra that is by Maharshi Patanjali, one of the six visions, as we saw, Darshana. So that is in the sutra form. There, yoga means samadhi. That is to be understood. So in the sutra, you don't get the meaning. We need to look at the commentary of great saints like Vyasa. Vyasa has written commentary. So same way, Bhagavad Gita, also we have so many commentaries. The most popular commentary, which is very true to the subject matter, is Shankaracharya's commentary. It is in the form of Advaita Vedanta. So this situation happened in the battlefield. This whole Bhagavad Gita took place in the battlefield. See, we have to remember this comes under Smriti. Smriti means narrative. Okay. So the author has chosen to show us that this teaching took place in the battlefield. Maybe to make us understand that our mind is like a battlefield. You know, what is right, wrong, what is good, what is not good. So all that happens in the battlefield. So here also we can understand that when there is a battle, what is right, what is wrong, etc., then we need a guidance or knowledge. We need a proper knowledge to get the clarity of whatever we are doing, whether it is spiritual life or even a normal worldly life. We need clarity. So this happens in the battlefield, and it has a very, very long story. As I said, it comes in Mahabharata, where two families had some problem, rift, and then finally they end up in the war. Okay. So here Arjuna is a soldier, and Lord Krishna is his driver, chariot driver. Okay. And there is a story for everything. As I said, it comes in the Mahabharata. We cannot go through all this now in 1 hour. So here, Lord Krishna chooses to become, actually, Arjuna wanted him to become his driver. So it is said, when you look at the whole picture, it is said that chariot is a cart, okay, the horse cart. It has Arjuna's chariot has 5 horses. Okay, so the picture will be like the whole cart, the whole chariot is like a body, and 5 horses, powerful horses, are like senses: nose, eyes, ears, etc. So they are like 5 senses. And the reins, which is connected to the nose of the horse, the belt, the reins, which can be controlled, through which person can control the horse. That is mind. It's like a mind. And the Lord Krishna is intellect, like an intellect. And the Arjuna, who is the owner sitting behind, he is the self. So that is the way we can look at this whole picture. So everything is very important. The owner is sitting inside or in the cart. And if the horses are not under the control, if they are running in different directions, you cannot reach the goal. So at the same time, you cannot hold it so tight your cart will, your horse, this chariot will just topple. So you cannot tightly hold it. And these all things can happen only when there is a clarity. That is driver. Driver, if he is drunk, if he is not clear, if he is confused, whatever you tell him, he may not listen to you. He may do whatever he wants. So the clarity, the buddhi, that's it, that is intellect. So it is said, if you want to have a success in life, then you should have an intellect. In your intellect, there should be Lord Krishna. So if your intellect becomes Lord Krishna, means the clarity. Lord means here light, in the form of light. Devaha. Devaha in Sanskrit comes from div root. Div means to enlighten, to light up. Okay. So when there is light in your intellect, knowledge, then everything is perfect. So this is the, a kind of understanding when you look at the whole picture. So here Arjuna having, doubts about everything. First of all, in the first chapter itself, he is very sad because the situation was that he had to kill his own family people, his grandfather, his cousins, etc., due to some story. So, in that sadness, he is asking Krishna that please teach me now what is right, what is wrong. I feel like not fighting. Actually, it is a duty of a soldier to protect the kingdom. If he doesn't do that, then the opposition, the people, the enemies may destroy the whole kingdom, destroy all good people. So it is a prime duty, his duty. Like, if there is a judge in the court and the victim or sorry, the criminal, the whoever has done something wrong, if that person is his own son, even then, being in that position is supposed to give a right decision, right verdict. So, same way here, Lord Krishna tells him, no, you cannot run away. You have to fight. So, this is the whole Bhagavad Gita begins. In this way, it begins. And it covers the subject matter, as I said, 4 yogas. Here, 4 yogas means 4 subject matter. What is that? Jnana Yoga, that is knowledge yoga, the subject matter of knowledge. Karma Yoga, subject matter of action. Bhakti Yoga, the subject matter of devotion. And Raja Yoga, the subject matter of meditation. So these 4 yogas are covered in this all 18 chapters, in the 700 verses. Is this, because I'm not going chapter wise, I'm just giving you the essence of Bhagavad Gita, what it is, the summary. Is this 4 yogas are independent or they are all one? That is to be understood. Because sometimes we hear that the people who are not intellectuals, okay, the people who are dull, they should practice bhakti yoga. Bhakti yoga means devotion. One should practice devotion. And if somebody is not very active, he should practice karma yoga. Okay. And people who are emotional, who are very emotional people, they have to be carried in the bucket. That means for anything you talk, they'll start crying. In that case, they should practice devotion. This is what contention, this is what people, You may read in so many books. And people who are physically weak or something like that, they are supposed to practice. Or if somebody is very much interested in meditation, silence, want to be themselves, they should practice Raja Yoga. This is what is said. But when you have the background of knowledge of Vedic, the point of the view of Veda, then you understand that even in the Bhagavad Gita itself, Lord Krishna says there is only two yoga: Jnana Yoga and Karma Yoga. In one of the verse, he says it has only two yoga. All other yoga comes under this bhakti, Raja Yoga. It's all action. It has some disciplines there to be followed. Those all comes under Karma Yoga. And what is to be known? What is that stopping us, or what is that making us feel bound? That is ignorance. So knowledge is the only solution. When you have knowledge, then there is no ignorance about anything. So for example, generally we take it like if you look at the Indian lamp, we have a mud lamp. We use that mud lamp, especially in the festivals like Deepavali, that is a festival of light. We use that mud lamp. So it is explained in a way that a lamp, the earthen lamp, that is mud lamp, is like karma yoga. Okay. And the oil inside is bhakti yoga. And the wick is Raja Yoga. And finally, when all these three is there, the lights up. That is knowledge, Jnana Yoga. So all this yoga subserves as a preparation, yogyata, preparation, disciplines, different disciplines. So this is the way we should understand before entering into Bhagavad Gita, what it is. Okay. So Arjuna asked Lord Krishna, what is truth? What is truth? He says, the self alone is the truth. Atma eva satya. Means self alone. There is something called essence. The the uh, the existing, something existing. Like for example, when you look at the body is not a permanent. There is something which is there always. What is that? That's self. Or you can call it as consciousness. Okay. So this is what was told by Krishna. There is something called self, which will never die, which is already there. Only body dies. Body alone dies. Self remains. Then Arjuna, again the question comes. I think it is very true. I understand what you are saying, but my mind is not ready. My mind is not ready. My mind is flickering. It travels everywhere. What I'm supposed to do? Okay. So then he says, you practice karma yoga. You practice karma yoga. Karma yoga means whatever work you do, you dedicate to myself. That is, dedicate to God. So what will happen through this? You will build up purity in the mind. Your purity means your concentration, focus, all that. good mind, the good mind. So this is what is said. So now comes, what is karma yoga? What is meant by karma yoga? How one can practice karma yoga? So there is one nice verse for that. Karmanyevadikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana ma karma phala heturbhuhu ma te sangos tva karmani. Means he says, you have right only on the action, not on the result. You can work, you can do whatever you are doing. What is that binding us? When we have the, when we have that anxiety for our result. So that is the root cause for suffering. So here, when you work, if you work with the attitude of karma yoga, so this karma yoga is an attitude. Like, for example, when you go to the temple or church, in India, especially when you go to church, they give us offered food. When you go to temple, you're supposed to take some fruits or sweets or something for offering. And after that, the priest will give you back. He offers that food to the Lord and gives you back. And you take it with lot of reverence. So that is the attitude. You do your work as a devotion, with all energy. But, but when it comes to result, you take it, your attitude changes there. Did you understand? When you go to a restaurant, you just buy your food and you eat. There's no question of reverence, etc. Because there is a feeling that I have paid for it, so I am getting it. I should get this much. So that is the attitude there. But when you come to the temple, the whole attitude changes. It becomes offering. You're offering. See, for example, you may be giving apple, or you may be giving some very good sweet, thinking that you will get the same. Because whatever you offer, you get it back. So people always take things whatever they like. There was an ashram. One of my student was sitting there. He's an old man sitting there, and the student comes to the teacher, the guru, and asks him, "Sir, what shall I offer today? Shall I offer the same sweet what you like?" That is called halwa. In India, we make something called halwa. Halwa is like a kind of pudding, I think. Pudding. Yeah. So he said, no, 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 don't do halwa today. Today you make khichdi. Khichdi. Khichdi means just a simple mixture of lentil and something, rice. So it is done only when you have stomach upset, etc. So he said, since few days my tummy is not okay, so you offer today khichdi only. So my student was laughing. Then he came and told me this is what happened. So here you can understand that offering, you cannot call it as an offering, because there he expects something from that. Whatever he likes, he give it to God, offering to God, in as expecting that he will get it back. So that never happens in the temple. What happens? You take sweets, you take apple or oranges, whatever you like, and finally you may get guava or some other fruit. You may get leaf also. What happens? So many people come to the temple and offer fruit, sweets, etc. So the priest can give anything from that, and you never question. Your attitude will be reverential. So this is a simplified way of explaining what is karma yoga. You do your work with the full mind, with lot of devotion, but when it comes to result, if you have the attitude of taking it as an offered food, it's called prasada. You whatever you get is offered one, and you have no choice. Without, there's no choice that you want this or that. You give it with all reverence, and you take it with all reverence. In some of the temples, you go with a lot of things, and finally they'll give you one drop of water in your hand. It's called tirtham. You will be surprised. Oh my God, where's my apple? Where's my sweets? That's given to somebody else. It's over. It's a big line. So many people coming in line. They are distributing. Whatever sweets you have offered, it's already given. Finally, you come. They'll give one leaf to you, one tulsi leaf, or a few drops of water in your hand. Even if not that, they will give you some ash, little ash, like Shiva, they put on the forehead. That is prasadam. But the attitude will be with lot of reverence. It's no more ash for you. It is something different. So this should be the attitude towards the result. If you have this attitude, you have no sorrow. This is the practice. This practice is called karma yoga. So karmanye eva adhikaraha. Did you understand now how Lord Krishna is unfolding the knowledge? How he is explaining to to Arjuna when he had a problem. So here, sometimes people say that being God, how could he push him to do fight, to war, towards war? So here, again you have to remember it's a smriti. It is narrated. So here, war is karma, action. As a soldier, what is his duty? Protect. He has to protect. His duty, his prime duty, his family, everything becomes secondary. His prime duty is to protect. So same way, what is the duty of a doctor? His duty is to serve the patients. What is the duty of a student? The prime duty is to study. Other all become secondary. So here, Lord Krishna pushing him to do his duty. Hey, you have come as a soldier, well prepared to fight. That means you are convinced that what you are doing is right thing. If you don't fight, they will finish the whole kingdom. All good people will die. The people who are following dharma, following moral life, they all will die. And there will be no good people on this earth. So it is your prime duty to protect those people as a soldier, as a kshatriya. So go and fight. Come on, fight. Do your karma. So this is what we are supposed to understand. It's not that Krishna loves blood, that he wants to see those people's blood. Not in that sense. This is what we are supposed to understand. So the whole Gita, in between, in a few, after one or two chapters, again he will say, stand up, Arjuna, do your work, do your duty. So it is reminding Arjuna not to run away from the duty. Like Arjuna says, when Krishna says that knowing the supreme truth, is freedom, moksha. There is supreme truth by which everything has come, the whole creation, everything has come from something. If you know that, and that is not different from you, that is the self, what we are talking about. There is one truth which is not different from you. Then what about the body? Body is impermanent. Body cannot be taken as a truth. There is something which is existing. So if you know that truth, you are muktaha, you are free. Then Arjuna gets a doubt. Oh my God, if that is the truth, then what I am doing here? Why you push me into the work? Why you are asking me to fight? You tell me the truth, you say that there is one truth, knowing which I become free, then why are you pushing me to work? Why you are giving lectures on karma yoga? Rather, I just go to the forest and meditate and get free, get freedom. Krishna says, do you think that you can go and sit and meditate? So here, he teaches him the preparation. See what happens if Arjuna would have dropped the fight, his duty, and gone to the forest. Okay, just imagine that Arjuna gives up his fight and all this karma yoga, everything he gives up and goes to the forest. Just imagine that he is going to forest and sitting there meditating. He's enjoying the silence. How many days? Maybe 1 week, 10 days. Then he need food, water, something he need, as a human being. Then he will look at the nearby villages or something, people. Okay, he is like a yogi with long hair and all that. People may give him food. So then he will come in contact with people. People will think that he's a yogi and they will like to know something from him, and they will tell their stories, their sadness to him, share with him. Then again, that feeling that I should support these people, I should serve them, because he is already coming from the background of king. The nature, the basic nature is there to protect people. So that may pop up, that I have to protect these people. What I'm doing here, I'm just enjoying myself sitting in meditation. No, I should protect. This thing may pop up, and he may start one training center there to train all those boys, children to protect themselves. Hey, you people have to protect yourself. Come on. I will teach you all the warfare. Then after some time, you'll see huge complex, huge building where Arjuna has become CEO of that institute. Then what about meditation, silence? Gone. So this is what happens if the person is unripe, if the person is not right, not ready. So the preparation, yogyata, you have to prepare yourself. How? By doing whatever you are doing. Also, you cannot run away from where you are, in which situation you are, because we are born to do and grow. Because we have not chosen that where we are supposed to be born, that these people should be my parents. We have got this birth due to our own karma. This is the understanding from Veda. Whatever karma we have done in the past, accordingly we get the birth. Accordingly we get parents. Accordingly we get all the situations. And if you think that if I run away from this situation, I'll be much better, you will see Wherever you run, the situation follows you because it is in you only. It's in the form of chip. Wherever you take the laptop, wherever you take the cell phone, it's there. Memory is there inside. It will take only few drops of water to pop up. The same situation will come up. So sometimes people say that wherever I go, I find same kind of people. The people who are angry, people who are jealous. I was in Switzerland. I found there also people jealousy. Then I went to America. I found there also people are jealous. Then I came to India, Rishikesh, thinking that everything will be fine. I will meditate, put some Rudraksha mala, and be in one ashram. Then I found some of the monks also jealous. So then finally he reject the world, saying that world is not good. This is the biggest complex, that I am good, world is bad. Also, vice versa. I am bad, world is good. Both are dangerous. So that's why Krishna gives him the teaching for readiness. He says, do your duty. Don't just run away from the situation, because wherever you go, you will find the same situation, because it's in the mind, it's not outside. So this is the teaching here. Then Arjuna understands. Okay, I understand. I want to know that whatever you are saying is very good. I accept your teaching. But the mind is so disturbing. It is very difficult to control. It is not easy that I can control my mind. I just look at the verse. Which verse is saying that? Yeah, I got it. Chanchalam, I'm just giving you sample, okay? Sample of teaching. Chanchalam hi manak Krishna pramati balavadradam. Tasyaham nigraham manne vayoriva sudushkaram. He says, in fact, Krishna, hey Lord Krishna, the mind is agitation, a strong, well-rooted. It is so difficult. It is so strong. I think it is impossible to control as the wind. It's like controlling the wind. That difficult. Then Krishna says, Sri Bhagavan Vacha, that is again immediate next answer. Asamshayam Mahabaho. Asamshayam means, yes, you are right. You are right. No doubt that it is difficult. Lord Krishna did not say, hey, what are you talking? It's so simple, okay? He did not say that. He said, no doubt, I understand how difficult it is, not easy. The mind is difficult to master, but abhyasena tu kaunteya vairagyena cha. He gives a technique to control the mind. What is that technique? Abhyasena, by practice, by repeated practice. And vairagyena. Vairagyena means through dispassion, it can be controlled. See, he did not give any particular concentration method or something like that. That you look at the candle for 1 hour, or you go and sit, close the doors of the room, make your room dark and forget everything. He did not say that. He said, repeated practice. You have to practice, you know. So even when it comes to meditation, Arjuna asked, what is meditation? He says, yato yato nivarte. Whenever mind runs away, whenever mind goes outside, you bring it back. You try to bring your mind back. See, for example, when you meditate, you focus on something. It can be your breath. You know, the idea is the mind is scattered. Mind is everywhere, like a wind, as Arjuna said. It is like a wind. It's not easy to control. The more you control, the more stronger it becomes. So it just runs away everywhere. So what is meditation? Is to bring back that mind on your chosen object. It can be a breath. It can be the name of God, the name of the God also. It can be a particular mantra. It can be a particular sound with the meaning. If you have sound with the meaning, then you can focus well, better. So this is what meditation he talks about. Whenever the mind goes, you bring it back. That is meditation. So here, Vairag Abhyasa, that practice, you practice, repeatedly you practice. How long? As long as you establish on the truth. Till then. Vairagya, dispassion. What the reason the mind runs away after object for security. We think that objects of the world will make me happy. House, money, gold, people, friends, partner, whoever it is. All the objects of the world alone can make me happy. That is the idea here. But what happens finally? All these objects are not permanent. So how you can be happy? Very difficult. It's impossible that I can be happy with on which that are not permanent, which are full of changes. I believe someone to be my own can be anyone, friend or family or anyone. Thinking, I believe them, I trust them, but sometimes you see they are different, they have changed because everything is changing in this world. Even your own mind is not permanent, it keeps changing. So, understanding of the changefulness of the objects, changes taking places every moment to moment, that understanding is vairagya, dispassion towards all these objects of the world. So dispassion is not something negative in the negative sense. If it is negative sense, it's again your psychological problem. This is not good, everybody is bad. That is not the thing to be understood here. Here, out of maturity, out of your own experience of life, out of knowledge, you understand that whatever is here is full of changes. Nothing is permanent. Everything is impermanent. This understanding comes in your heart. You see that immediately you feel contented, and in a sense, you feel peaceful. There is a shanti in your heart. So, this is what practice here Lord Krishna gives to Arjuna, that yes, of course, I accept what you are saying is very true. It is not easy that you can control the mind, but it can be possible. It is possible through repeated practice and dispassion. With these two, you can handle your own mind. And there is one question by Arjuna, that what is the nature of enlightened person? The nature of self-realized, one who has understood one's own true nature. What is his nature? How he looks at the world. So he says, Prajahati yada kaman sarvan parthamanogatan atmanyevatmana tushtaha stita prajnastadochyate. So here Arjuna is asking, what is the nature of people who are enlightened? So there is a lot of verses connected to it. I'm just doing one from that. So he says, Lord Krishna says, when a person gives up all desires as they appear in the mind, happy in oneself, with oneself alone, Partha, or Arjuna, that person said to be one of ascertained knowledge. So here he is explaining the nature of the enlightened one, how his life will be. Like for example, we think that enlightened person will be looking at the world differently, not like us, because we read in the book that enlightened people look at the world as God, or they don't see two, they see only one. Some imaginations we have about enlightened people. And also, same way, Arjuna also had the same doubt that what they may be eating, how they will be walking on the street, because they are all enlightened. How can they walk? How can they eat like us? So how their life will be after enlightenment? So here he says, Lord Krishna says, don't worry, they will continue to be as they are. So with this we understand that it is not external transformation. It is all about internal transformation. What is the difference between enlightened and not enlightened? What is the meaning of enlightenment? Lightened, one who has got the knowledge of the self. The ignorant person doesn't have that knowledge. He looks at world as real. For him, the worldly objects alone gives joy and happiness. That is the nature of ignorant person. He thinks that people gives him security. Money gives him security. You may be thinking, maybe I'm monk, so I'm able to talk like that. People tell me that. Swamiji, you are in Rishikesh in the ashram. Okay, for me, the food and accommodation is given in the ashram. Of course, they too, there's whatever we have to do, we have to do. You have to give something in the form of service, all that is there. But still, it is not that bad like normal world that you have to earn and then only you get glass of water. Not in that condition now in Rishikesh. So the monks are given by society. They take care. So people think that you are a monk. You can say that worldly objects are not, permanent. But for us, this is what is real. We have to live with it. Yes, you have to live with it, no doubt. But that should not be the priority. You should understand the fallacy, the limitations of that. So again, it's your inner attitude, inner knowledge. It's not, you give up physically. You understand the limitations of everything. The money, what is money? Like we have one person here, known person to me, he's very rich person, very rich, multi-millionaire. But when it comes to his food, you know what he eats? He eats twice a day the lentils liquid. You know, lentil, that's in Hindi, dal. They say dal. There's something called green lentil, moong dal, green lentil. So the green lentil is boiled, and whatever the thin layer on the top, the water, that alone he has to drink in the cup. That is his food twice a day, and he's damn rich. Now you can see the limitation of the money. Money gives so many things, no doubt, but it has its own limitation. So that is to be understood here. The person who understands this fact is called wise. All others are otherwise. One who looks at the world as a dependent on that truth alone, and the ultimate truth is one, which is not different from me. This is the understanding of a wise person. The ignorant person thinks that I am different from the world, and world is a object which helps me to gain all the security in life. So I have to depend more and more on the world only. World means what? People, objects, things, etc. So for my happiness, I have to depend on the world. But in the scriptures, it is said the happiness is your own nature. The happiness cannot come from outside. This you can also analyze for yourself. How that I am the happiness. Like, for example, the nature of the fire is heat. The nature of the water is cold. The nature of myself is nothing but limitless joy, happiness. Like, for example, if this joy and happiness is outside of me, then that object should continue to give me happiness and joy. Like you are very much hungry and you get a chocolate or ice cream which you like most, and you feel so joyful when you eat the first chocolate or ice cream. Oh my god, I'm so happy, right? So now the ice cream has given you so much joy, and then somebody offers you one more cup. You say, no, no, it's okay, I had it. No, no, please have it, you like it, I know. Okay, then that person gives one more cup to you. Immediately you'll start saying, no, 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 stop it. Enough. No, one more cup. Please don't bring this ice cream anymore in front of me. I will start vomiting. So now you can understand where that happiness is. If that happiness was in the ice cream, then you should continue to have that happiness one after one. The first one should give you happiness, second one should give you happiness, third one should give you happiness, the fourth one. No, it never happens with the objects. So it is said the happiness is not coming from outside, it is inside. This is one example. Another example, you look at the child. This is the best example. You look at a child, you'll never see a child with sad face. You'll never see a child. Child means always joy, the happy child. When it is not happy, when somebody goes and pinches, pulls his hair, you go and pull his hair, he'll start crying. Or some mosquito bite, he'll cry. Or he's hungry. So these are the situation. It looks as if it is not happy, but by nature, child is always joyful, happy. So this is what we have to understand. There's one more example in the scripture. This is the last example. It is said that when you go to a deep sleep, when you get into a deep sleep, there's no object in the deep sleep. And when you wake up, if somebody asks you, that how did you feel? Immediately you say, I was so joyful. I had a very good sleep, deep sleep. I'm very joyful. So now the question is, in that deep sleep, was there any object to give you happiness? Was there people to give you security? Was there money? There was nothing there. In the deep sleep, there was nothing. But still, vaguely you remember that you were a joy. So this is also a very good example to understand that our true nature is to be always happy. So this is the nature of the self. It comes from my own self. So this understanding is called wisdom. And one who has this wisdom is called jnani, knowledgeable or enlightened. This is what is understanding. This is what is to be understood. This is what is the teaching of Bhagwan to Arjuna. Of course, he covers a lot of subjects. He covers everything. Not only about spirituality, he also covers how to live, the moral codes, yoga, different types of yoga. So many things he covers, and also the duty of different people. All that is covered in this Bhagavad Gita. So it is one of the best book. And as I said, if somebody wants to know Hindu religion, then one is supposed to study this book. If you study this book, it is as well as you have studied the whole Veda, because this book is called as the essence of Veda. It gives the gist of Veda. Okay, we'll finish the class here. ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ Thank you.